Hello, I'm Dr. Mike Condra, Director of Health, Counselling and Disability Services at Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario. Today I'm here to talk to you about mental health. When we talk about mental health, what is it that we mean? The first thing to notice is that mental health is not blissful happiness 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Nobody has a life like that. All of us will have times in our lives when we feel sad, or we feel happy, or we feel anxious. So, this is in fact what mental health is. We can do three things. First, we can engage in productive activities. Productive activities could be anything. They could be knitting a sweater, reading a book, teaching a class, being a student in the class. But it's productive. It engages our senses, our intellect, and it helps us to grow and develop. The opposite, of course, would be a destructive activity which in some way harms or hurts us. The second thing is we can engage in fulfilling relationships. Relationships that make us feel stronger or happier or which support or affirm us. Relationships that are reciprocal. So we have friends, we have family. There's no quota or number on this. We shouldn't have to have 25 friends or 39 or 6 or 4. Just that the relationships that we have are good for us. And the third part of good mental health is probably the most subtle and the most important. That is the ability to adapt and change and cope with adversity or stress when it happens. And what this means is that we can deal with situations that cause stress or difficulty. Let's say, for example, that it takes us 20 minutes to drive to work, and so we leave the house 10 minutes early only to find that our car won't start. When we're mentally well, we can start to think of other possibilities. Maybe we could get a cab. Maybe we could walk. Maybe we could call a friend who drives to the university. Maybe we could stay home. When we're mentally well, we keep that flexibility and we're able to problem solve. But when we're mentally unwell, we lose some of that flexibility and we start to rely on the same strategies for dealing with problems. Or we avoid solving problems altogether. We run away from them. So when we're mentally well, we are content and we can deal with stress. So what is mental illness? Mental illness is a general term that we use to describe a number of significant changes that can happen to us. Firstly, our thinking can change. So, people with mental health problems sometimes have difficulty with concentrating. Let's take an example. You're relaxing and reading an article in the newspaper. You reach the third paragraph and you realize that you don't remember what the article's about. That's a difficulty with concentration. People with mental health problems have a significant difficulty with memory, with attending, with concentrating. On top of that, this affects even important areas of their lives. For example, a student with attention and concentration problems will have difficulty reading the material from lectures or from texts. So you can see, this could be very frightening for the student. The second thing that gets affected is our mood. And typically when people develop a mental health problem, they are likely to become more anxious, or more sad, or more irritable. These are all unpleasant changes. As well, they may experience a loss of a sense of pleasure. All of us have things in our lives that we enjoy. Food, or recreational activities, or sporting activities, or artistic endeavors. But when people are mentally ill, they often lose the pleasure that accompanies these activities. And the third area that becomes affected is our behavior. People with mental health problems may experience difficulties with eating or with sleeping, or they may lose interest in their personal hygiene. Most mental health problems affect all three areas. And in a general way, we say that mental health problems are always associated with distress. That's to say, people are not happy when they're mentally unwell. And all are associated with impaired functioning. That is, people are not able to do the things that they were able to do when they're well. Thank you for watching. I hope that this video has given you some insight into what we mean when we talk about mental health.